Rose Montoya, a trans model and activist who decides that while she's at the White House, because the Biden administration was honoring Pride Month, she gonna show up and on the White House lawn, gonna show her titties on a weekday afternoon. I mean, come on. Come on now. Reading from the story here, the White House said a transgender model would be banned from future events due to photos and videos she took topless on a property's south lawn during a Pride Month celebration this past Saturday. Rose Montoya, a trans model and activist, was among hundreds invited by the Biden administration to mark Pride Month. Montoya then shared a video from the event on Instagram that features a clip of her standing in front of the White House topless and covering her nipples with her hands. I believe we have that video, Jay, if I remember correctly. Don't keep my audience waiting. Show it to them.
Welcome to the White House.
Thank you.
Happy Pride Month. Happy Pride Year. Happy Pride Life.
Yeah!
Transgender children.
You are beautiful.
You are heard.
You belong.
You are understood.
You are loved.
And you belong. Some of the bravest and most inspiring people I've ever known.
I mean, you're welcome.
Good folks.
Can we take a little video? Hi, Mr. President. It is an honor. Trans rights are human rights. Oh, it's a video. Oh, it's a video.
Gay news. Are we topless at the White House?
So you're on a White House lawn with the White House in the backdrop, as the backdrop. And that enticed you to show your titties. Really? Really? You see, this is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about here, okay? Now, listen to her explanation. She defended her actions on Tuesday, saying she was, quote, living her truth and wasn't trying to be vulgar or profane. Well, if that was the case, why didn't you just show up with your titties out as you rolled up to the White House? You know why you didn't do it? Because you know they wouldn't have let you in. Which means you were fully aware of the fact that it was inappropriate to do what you did. You just didn't care. And at the end of the day, at some point in time, people are going to learn that excessive acts is what ultimately is going to get in the way of the progress you seek. Because you're so busy wanting to be flamboyant, that ain't living. That's stuffing it in people's face. What you gonna do next? Walk down 7th Avenue in New York with your breast out? What you gonna do next? Not care that there's kids around while you do it? What's next? What's to stop you? Where's the decorum? And her statement that I would like to say going topless in Washington, D.C. is legal and I fully support the movement of freeing the nipple. When was the nipple incarcerated? I'm sorry. Is there anything that y'all know of? I've never heard of the nipple being incarcerated. I understand it being covered for public consumption. Nobody stops you from unveiling it once you get into the privacy of your own home or the privacy of a bathroom, or if you went to see your man or your woman or whatever and y'all decided to get loose and get freaky deaky. I mean, nobody stopped you from showing it then. When was the titty incarcerated? Because you see, people making stuff up now. People making stuff up now. I want to know, when was the titty incarcerated? When did that happen? What law was enacted that imprisoned the breastises? That's what I want to know. I'm not aware. I've been seeing breast all of my life. I was breastfed by my mama out of the womb. And after that, once I grew up and I started to engage in sexual activities, which now spans about 40 years, now 38 years. I've been seeing breast all my adult life, since I was 17. I have never, ever encountered the incarceration of breasts. I've never had to go to a prison to see breasts. I've never had to sit up there and check and found out permission to see the breastises. I've never seen it. I don't know what y'all talking about. I don't have a clue at all. So why are you saying free the nipple? Last point. She said going topless in Washington, D.C. is legal. Yes, ma'am. And I'm assuming it's a ma'am. They're saying that it's a she. That's why I'm saying. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. That is true, but you left out one very important fact. The White House is federal grounds. Washington, D.C. is not. Your point would have been valid if you were in the streets of Washington, D.C. But the second you stepped on the White House lawn, you were in violation of federal laws. It's not legal on the White House lawn. Which is why the White House spokesperson said Tuesday, quote, "This behavior is inappropriate and disrespectful for any event at the White House. It is not reflective of the event we hosted to celebrate LGBTQI plus families or the other hundreds of guests who were in attendance." They're not going to make a federal case out of this. They're not going to throw you in jail or anything like that. But it is clear that it was inappropriate and disrespectful, Rose Montoya. The cause and the movement and the attention and the significance and substantive points that the LGBTQI plus community is trying to bring to the equation are things you threaten to compromise by simply getting raw. And by the way, stop lying. The titty is not incarcerated. It's free as a bird. Plenty of human beings on this planet Earth confirm that every minute, every hour, and every day of their lives.